Okay, so we'll dive into the reports area now of Xero. I'm going to show you some of probably what I think are the most useful reports for a business to run. These aren't specific to Xero, but these are useful for any business day to day within their accounting package. And I'm also going to talk about a couple of little areas where Xero differs in terms of how they produce reports and how you can save them as well. So reports is our middle tab just up the top here. And when I drop it down, I can see I've got an option for all of my reports. I can produce a budget, which we'll do at the end of this video. And I can look at my favorites in a similar way to how we had favorites in our settings tab earlier. So if I go to all reports for the moment, you can see here I've got a huge run of reports in all kinds of different areas. For those interested, this is a useful area to view every few weeks, and specifically when Xero performs an update, as they're regularly changing reports, improving them, and adding new areas as well. So on a similar line to the settings, the little blue diamonds here represent the favorites area. So I can change these around for my particular business, and potentially I'll take a couple of these here away from my favorites. And instead of those, I'm more keen to look at my account areas. So again, having changed those, I can click here and my drop downs have changed as well. So very similar to the settings area there, but useful to know. A question I get from new clients fairly often is wanting to change the shortcuts to save the amount of clicks they have in the system. So you'll notice at the top here on the tabs, I've got a summary tab, and then I've got some draft reports, published, and those that have been archived. So the easiest way to show you how to use these tabs is probably to dive into a demo report here. So I'm going to pick a profit and loss report, probably one of the single most important for any business to run, and I'll use this as the example here. So by clicking into profit and loss, this has loaded up a default profit and loss for this particular demo company, and therefore it's looking at this month, and also it's looking back to the month, the one before that, and the one before that as well. So you can also see how I'm viewing that by this top option here in black, and I've got some quick click-throughs, to look at some other possibilities. So for example, if I wanted to look at year to date, I can click there and the report will instantly change. I can also on the top tab here change through and look at a very specific period if one of these doesn't fit to what I want. The last little button I've got at the top here is a wide view. If I click the wide view, it will just hide all my menu options and give me a better view. This isn't the best report to look at it on, but if you're looking at something that has maybe 5 or 6 rows and lots of columns, that would be very, very useful to look at that wide view. So finally down the bottom here, I've got some options that I can save this report as a draft. So maybe if I'm a staff member in an organization and I need to produce a report for a manager, I can draft it in there for his review. That will put it in the draft tab back on the front as well. I've got some options here with the layouts, and I can choose how I want to lay these out. I'm not going to go through all these in detail because they're fairly self-explanatory, but feel free to have a look around there if you wish. I can also print or export this report, so I can print it straight off to a hard copy, or I can export it out to Excel, PDF, or to a Google Doc for those of you that are using Google Apps for Business. The final one that I can do here is I can publish this report. So I'm going to go through this now, and what that will do is that will save the report as a sort of semi-hard copy in the exact format that I've done it now. So regardless of someone coming back in tomorrow to look at the profit and loss, if they look at the published one, it will be as it was, as I've looked at it here. So this is particularly useful if you maybe publish your balance sheet once per month at the end of a month, and you don't want to have to go fiddling through the settings every time. So here I can change some details, but I'm happy with these. So if I click publish, what this will do is it'll save the report back into my published tab where we were earlier. As Xero lets me know at the top here, it's locked the data down so it can't be changed. And if I click on this little PDF button here, then you'll see that I can download this into a PDF, and then it comes up in a really nicely formatted full PDF option here, which maybe I can print off, take to management. Could be useful if I'm going to a business advisory meeting or maybe a bank meeting. I particularly think the published reports are one huge area of Xero that are really underappreciated. So I'll take you back to the all reports area for the moment. So I looked at profit and loss there. Some of the other useful ones you've got here, and I'm sure I don't need to explain how to implement them in your business. Age payables, age receivables. Balance sheet is also useful, and the account summary options as well. So some things to be aware of here. You've also got an executive summary. So an executive summary is a useful one for maybe a higher level manager that doesn't have maybe the accounting need to go in and look at things like your ledger, your full balance sheet, anything like that, but wants an overview of where the company is sitting at the moment. The last one I'm going to show you, which is actually just down under the Advisor tab, is a management report. I'm going to go into this at the same time because it has a similar layout and I think it's really important to look at. I'll look at the Advisor tab in more detail in the next video though. So this management report, I can drop down here and see the pages that are going to be in this. So this is going to be a 6-page report that is going to show me summary of my business at the moment, then a cash summary, my profit and loss and balance sheet, and my AR and AP. So this I think is a phenomenal resource to look at once a month, maybe once every 3 months, to see exactly where your business is positioned. So I'm going to run to the bottom again. I'm going to click publish. In this case, I'm going to put a cover page and a table of contents on it because I want this used to take to my business advisor. And I'm going to go in and show you the PDF just to get an idea of what this report can be used for and quite how useful it can be. So we'll see here now that I've got my management report, if I just zoom out a little bit. And then I've got my contents area here. And scrolling down, you can see a really useful, easy to read summary of exactly where the business is at right now, month on month, followed by a full profit and loss, cash summary, balance sheet, AR, and AP. That's probably the most powerful report in the whole system within Xero, but be aware that any report can be published. So I've had some clients ask me before that they've published reports and don't know where they've gone, or they deleted the PDF by accident. They're always kept in this little publish tab here. So feel free to go through the reports and have a look at them in detail on your own. If there is a particular report that you're looking for in your business, you're probably best to ask your bookkeeper or accountant what information they want to get out of it. But I can pretty much guarantee that you can find a report that will do what you want in Xero. So I hope you appreciate that overview. The next video will just be a short look at the Advisor tab for those that have access to that.